All right, Rangers fans, buckle up, because today we've got an absolute cracker for you. From transfer plans that could shake up Scottish football to the £3 million flop who's on the chopping block, it's all kicking off at Rangers. We'll dive into the predicted lineup for the St. Johnstone clash, with some surprise names making the cut. Plus, Souness has just dropped a bombshell, comparing the gaffer to Klopp and Guardiola. Wait till you hear this one. And if that's not enough drama for you, a former Rangers boss has just been sacked in a move that's left everyone scratching their heads. Stick with me to the end. You won't want to miss a second of this. So the plan is to scour Scotland for the next big thing, eh? The word is Rangers are eyeing up the local lads to bolster the squad and maybe make a bit of dosh in the process. The likes of young Connor Barron from Aberdeen seem to be the blueprint. Snap up the promising Scots before anyone else gets a sniff, then either mold them into key players or flog them later for a tidy profit. Sensible enough, considering the purse strings at Rangers aren't exactly elastic these days. Apparently, Lennon Miller from Motherwell was on the radar, but the old financial reality at Rangers might have put the kibosh on that one. Makes you wonder though, doesn't it, if we're prioritizing homegrown talent because competing in other markets is a stretch. Is this a clever long-term strategy or just making the best of a tight spot? And Mick Brown, the one who rubbed shoulders with Sir Alex at Man United, reckons this approach is solid. He's singing the praises of investing in local talent, saying it'll give us a decent foundation. Fair enough, but with scouts sniffing around every corner of Scotland, it'll take a sharp eye and some clever negotiating to bag these lads before the English clubs start chucking silly amounts of money at them. Now, here's the thing. Are Rangers fans happy with this back-to-basics strategy? Or does it feel like we're settling for less while other clubs, like you-know-who, flash the cash on flashier names? Should we be doing whatever it takes to stay competitive in the big markets? Or is this the sensible way forward given the current finances? Well, it's all happening at Rangers, isn't it? A 4-1 Europa League hammering of OGC Nice is exactly what the doctor ordered. But let's not kid ourselves. Philippe Clement's still got his work cut out. The league's a bit of a shambles, third place, 11 points adrift of those Celtic lot, and a string of patchy performances to boot. It's no wonder folk are calling for a shake-up. Enter Patrick Stewart, the new CEO with a CV that includes a stint alongside Sir Alex at Manchester United. Looks like Rangers might have pulled a rabbit out of the hat with this appointment. But let's face it, the poor bloke's stepping into a storm, and with January looming, he's got to find a way to juggle finances, transfers, and a squad that's not exactly firing on all cylinders. And then there's Rabbi Matondo, £3 million for a lad who spent more time on the treatment table than on the pitch. Oh, sure, John Hartson bigged him up as a good signing back when he arrived, all pace and potential. But 2.5 years later, what have we got? A couple of goals here, an assist there, and a whole lot of injuries in between. Decent flashes, but for that money, you'd want more than just the odd highlight reel moment. If Clement and Stewart want to free up cash for reinforcements, flogging Matondo in January feels like a no-brainer. Even James Tavernier's name is being whispered in the wind. Our captain, no less. That'd be a bold move, but bold might just be what's needed. So here's one to chew on for you Rangers fans. Should Matondo get the boot to fund January signings, or is selling our captain Tavernier the real gamble worth taking? So, we're off to McDiarmid Park, eh? St. Johnstone might be 9th in the league, but you know as well as I do, Rangers can make even the lowliest sides look like title contenders on their day. 11 points behind those Celtic lot is a sore one, so this is no time for faffing about. Philippe Clement seems to have had enough of the old guard letting him down, which might explain the push to start Hamza Igamane up front. And fair play to the lad. He looked the part in France, didn't he? Strong, direct, and actually keeping the moves alive instead of floundering. It's about time someone stepped up and gave us a focal point in attack. In the middle of the park, Ianis Haji could be getting a shout after Mohamed Diamande's solid shift in Europe, and you'd think Haji's experience in these domestic scraps would give him the edge, but Drami's versatility adds a bit of intrigue too. He's got that knack for drifting inside and causing chaos. Now, about the backline, Ridvan Yilmaz is still easing into things, but Clement's shown he's not one for tinkering with the defense unless absolutely necessary. Makes sense considering the lads handled Nice fairly well, aside from that daft penalty incident. Here's the kicker though. Clement's reportedly got one eye on the Premier Sports Cup final against Celtic. If he's already weighing up his ideal XE for that clash, could we see some big names benched? Dezers hasn't exactly set the world alight, and there's chatter about Tavernier possibly sitting this one out too. Bold choices if you ask me, but sometimes bold is what's needed. So here's the big question to fire up the comments section. Is dropping Tavernier, our captain, a masterstroke to prepare for the Celtic clash? Or is it disrespecting his leadership when we need every point we can get? Graham Souness, never shy with an opinion, is he? And this time, he's swinging for the fences. Guardiola, Klopp, and Sir Alex all struggling at Rangers, he reckons? That's a bold claim, but it cuts to the heart of where the blame lies. The squad. Souness is clear. Clement's got the chops, but you can't make champagne football with flat cola players. Fair enough. The squad's not exactly brimming with Celtic-level quality, but let's not give Clement a free pass here. He's the manager. His job's to squeeze every last drop of potential out of what he's got. And let's be honest, has he done that? Results have been patchy, the style of play's still a bit meh, and domestic games are where we're coming unstuck. No one's asking for tiki-taka, but a bit of consistency wouldn't go amiss, would it? Sure, the Nice win was brilliant, but it can't just be a flash in the pan. This turning point talk gets old fast if it's not backed up by performances in the bread-and-butter games of the league. 11 points behind Celtic is not where we should be, no matter the squad depth. Here's the kicker, though. If we're admitting the players aren't up to scratch, does that mean Clement needs more time? Or do we start questioning the recruitment team and boardroom for the state of the squad? And if the gaffer can't adapt with what he's got, maybe Souness's dream team of managers would face the same uphill battle, but you'd still expect better than this. So, here's a question to get the comments flying. Is Clement being let down by the players, or is he failing to get the best out of them? And if Souness is right, does it mean Rangers are doomed to mediocrity until there's a complete overhaul from top to bottom? Well, looks like Gio van Bronckhorst's stint at Besiktas is coming to an abrupt end. Just 6 months in, and it's curtains already, according to the reports. You'd think after his mixed bag with Rangers, he'd be chomping at the bit to make a mark in Turkey, but sitting 6th in the league and a Europa League flop seems to have sealed his fate. Losing to Maccabi Tel Aviv clearly didn't help matters either. The timing's as messy as a dodgy VAR call, with their chairman Hassan Arat also packing it in. Talk about turmoil. Besiktas are swapping managers and board members like they're playing a game of musical chairs. Makes you wonder if it's the manager, the players, or just the club itself. That's the problem, doesn't it? And let's not forget, Gio's time at Rangers was no fairy tale. Sure, there were highs, the Scottish Cup win, and that Europa League final run, but the league campaign was frustrating, and consistency wasn't exactly his strong suit. You could say he's got unfinished business, but who knows if he'll get another shot at managing a top club. So here's one for the debate. Should Rangers fans feel vindicated by Van Bronckhorst's struggles, or does this show we might not have given him enough time to prove himself when he was at Ibrox? If you haven't seen yesterday's video yet, you're missing out. Explosive news about Rangers that'll leave every fan stunned. Go check it out now.